Hey everyone, ever wondered why things expand in heat, shrink when they cool, or why metal spoons feel hot in a cup of coffee? Heat has some pretty fascinating effects, and today we're breaking down expansion, contraction, convection, and conduction. Let's get heated. Expansion and contraction. When a substance is heated, the particles will gain energy and move faster. They will bounce into each other more often with a bigger impact force. This will create a bigger space between the particles, so the object's size gets bigger. We call this process expansion. However, the size of the individual particles do not change. Now, contraction. When a substance is cooled, the particles will lose energy and they will move slower. They will bounce into each other more often and with less force. This will cause the space between the particles to decrease, so the substance will contract. Solids will contract the most, while gases contract the least. Application. The train tracks always have some gaps between sections. This is because in hot days the tracks expand. The tracks can expand into the gaps, or else the tracks will push into each other and bend the tracks, which can cause catastrophic crashes. The Application 2. The power lines are always dangling down on cold days. On the cold days, the lines will contract. If the lines weren't dangling down, the lines will contract and break. Heat can transfer in three different ways: conduction, convection, and radiation. Today, let's talk about conduction and convection first. Conduction is a transfer of heat from one place to another through the vibration and collision of particles. Convection is a transfer of heat from one place to another through the movement of fluids. Now, time for the question. Explain why you install a heater at your home. Should you install it on the floor or the ceiling? Answer: on the floor, because hot air rises so the heater is installed on so if the heater is installed on the ceiling, the warm air will stay at the top, so which will not let your entire room flow with heat. If you install it on the lower part of the house, then the hot air will rise from the bottom to the top, making the middle part also warm. Thermal conductor is a material that is very good at conducting heat. For example, metals such as copper, aluminum, and gold. That's why aluminum foil is sometimes used to wrap foods. Thermal insulator is a metal that is not good at conducting heat. For example, wood, plastic, and foam. Now time for the questions. Give a practical use of a thermal conductor and explain how it works. And give a practical use of a thermal insulator and explain how it works. Here is a hard, difficult question. Very hard, difficult question. Explain why during hot days the wind is offshore. Take your time with these questions, these are hard. Answers. If you aren't ready to see the answers, pause the video and relook at the questions. Now here are the answers. A cup of water, which is a cup of hot water, which is a thermal conductor, because it tells us if it's hot. Thermal conductors let heat go through easily. Did you get that one right? Here's the second question. Plastic is a thermal insulator. Thermal insulators don't let heat go through easily. We can use plastic as coasters so it prevents hot drinks from burning our tables. Now it's time for the difficult question. Here is the answer for the difficult question. On a hot day, the beach is hot. Hot air rises. This is because the particles move faster and collide with each other more, creating bigger spaces between particles so hot air expands and becomes less dense. However, the ocean water is cold, so the particles lose energy and move slower, causing them to be more dense and sink. This creates a convectional current, which causes the wind to face offshore. This can happen during the day or night, causing the wind to face offshore or onshore. Conclusion. That's all for today's video. I hope you understood the different transfers of heat and how heat is used in our daily lives. And as always, stay curious.